he came back as a defense minister. Now said he was anticipating a kind of fear that this Gamal Abdel Nasser, I hope he's not going to be a similitude of Kamal Mustafa or Mustafa Kamal Atatürk of Turkey, because that one was the one that fought the allied forces of the Germans, of the UK, and of the France when they decimated the Ottoman Empire. He was the one that confronted them and liberated Turkey from the hands of all these German forces, all these allied forces. So David Ben-Gurion, who was the founding father of what? Of where? Of Israel, was also scared of Gamal Abdel Nasser. So on coming on board of David Ben-Gurion as defense minister, the following week, he now gathered 150 troopers. They now went to attack the Gaza, and they killed 40 senior army officers and they injured a lot of them. The following month, March, Gamal Abdel Nasser now went to Gaza. He now promised them that the aggression of these Israelis, I won't let it go. I'm going to fight them. That was in March 1955. I won't let it go. I need to fight them. You people should be rest of mind. I'm going to fight them. By July, Gamal Abdel Nasser now blocked the sea that leads, Sea of Gulf of Aqaba, where they used to do their transaction up and down. He blocked it. That you people, because you are having a water passway, that is why you are misbehaving like this. He blocked it. The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom then, Eden, he now said that the decision of Gamal Abdel Nasser is between life and death. Because after closing down Gulf of Aqaba, he closed down the Suez Canal as well. And this Suez Canal is the route that leads to India. And that particular route is owned by the Britain and the France. So they call it as what? As death and life. A lot of incidences happened in between that time. Why are we narrating all this? Is that what gave the newly state of independence declared by David Ben-Gurion to go and attack the inhabitant, the original landowner of where? Of Palestine. Gradually from that 1955 to that 1956. From 1956 to 1967, there was a relative peace on that Palestinian land. Not until June 5, 1967, which led to the day they call 6-Day Wars on that same Palestinian land. On the 5th of June, there was an operation that had been prepared by the senior Air Force officer, is being called, of the IDF, Israeli Defense Force, IDF. He had already prepared for like 5 years, for like 3 years. They are prepared for how they are going to destroy Egypt. And they call it Operation Focus. So the operation that they are prepared for within 3 years, they now had the opportunity of launching it in June 1967. And they started the operation on the 5th of June. So the first thing they did was to go and attack, because the Israelis, they seized all in the Arab land. They seized Egypt as their threat. The Jordanians are there. The Syrians are there. The Iraqis are there. They are not even considering the Lebanese. So their major threat is Egypt. So they went and launched their Operation Focus, being led by Eze Wiseman. Eze Wiseman is the supreme commander of the IDF. They launched it, and on that same day, they destroyed more than 300 aircraft of the Egyptian government. They destroyed all their tarmac, so that they won't be able to what? To be able to fly and attack them. In the midday of that same 5th of June, which was the first day of the 6 days, the Egyptian radio now communicated that the Egypt, they have been having victory over the Israelis. So the Jordanians, the Syrians, and the Iraqi, they now withdrew. Because they too, they are in the peripheral of what? Of the Egypt to give them support. So they now withdraw. That was on the 5th. On the 6th, the Deputy Supreme Commander of the Egyptian forces is called Marshal Amar. Marshal Amar now flew in a public aircraft. He didn't follow the Air Force aircraft. He now saw the supremacy, the taking over of the air, of the cloud, by the power of whom? Of the Israelis. That the Israelis, they have covered all the sky. So they will be able to fight from the sky, but they have more strength on the ground. That was on the 6th of June, 1967. So when this Marshal Amar now came back from his surveillance, he now withdrew all their forces on the ground. The withdrawal of the forces on the ground now gave more strength to the Israelis. So they started attacking them. With this withdrawal, on the 7th of June, 1967, the Jordanians, the Iraqis, and the Syrians, they also now withdrew. That the people that we are supporting, they are no more on the battlefield. The Israelis now had the opportunity of attacking them. So they have captured the whole airspace and they have captured the ground space. Just because of what? Because of the Palestinian land. That was on the 7th of June 1967. On the 8th, the Israelis, they now try to secure their border in order for the Syrians not to come and attack them. They secure it from the Golan Heights. What we call the Golan Heights are like mountains in a very strategic place in between the Israel and the Syrian. That these Syrians, they not come and attack, they secure the place. Then on the 9th of June 1967, these Israelis now mounted the Golan Heights precisely. That yes, we have captured all this area. No any external forces, no any aggression can come and attack us. We are safe by the Syrians. They have already decimated the Jordanians. The Iraqis are nowhere to be found. The history of the Lebanons is kept aside. Their main target is to destroy whom? To destroy the Egyptians, which they have gotten supremacy, because the first day on the 5th of June, they have destroyed their 80% of their aircraft. They destroyed the tarmac. So there is nothing that can flee from there. There is nothing that can land over there. On the 10th of June, 1967, the Damascus radio, which is the state capital of Syria, now announced on the radio that the Syrians, they have gained power. They have succeeded. The way the Egyptian radio declare as well. So also the Syrian in Damascus, they also declare. The troops on the field, they now withdrew back. That was how the Israelis, they now captured everybody. And that was how they decimated the whole Arab land. And that was what gave them the security till date on the land of where? Of Palestine. So all the Allied forces that were fighting for the real landowner, they have been fought and they have been conquered. Then the less privileged people, what would they do? So this is a brief history of what has been happening right from 1897, from the end of the Zionism. That is the injustice and the illegitimacy occupancy of that land till today. Now the third question that brought all this analysis. What gave the Zionists, what gave them the opportunity, what gave them the audacity to go and attack the less privileged people that are majorly, they are farmers, they are not weapon carrier members?